Hi, my name is Ellie Stutz, and as the co-chair of this year's Veterans Day Assembly, I would like to welcome you. It is our honor to be able to recognize the people who have so honorably served our country. Although this year may look a little different due to COVID, our level of appreciation remains unchanged. We hope that you enjoy this token of appreciation for all that you do and have done. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Brian Zeller, principal at Fremont Ross. I want to welcome everyone to our Veterans Day Assembly. While this year will look different, our appreciation remains the same. As the son and brother of Army veterans, I'd like to thank all of our veterans for their service to our country. I would especially like to thank all of our Ross alums who have served or are serving. We appreciate you and we're very proud of you. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, this is AJ Malo, former leadership student and current business teacher at Fremont Ross High School. As the inaugural Veterans Day Assembly chairperson, it gives me great joy to see this assembly in its 10th year. Veterans, thank you for the service and the sacrifice that you have made to our country. I hope you enjoy this program. It is dedicated to you.
3 teens were arrested today for defacing the Kensington Park War Memorial overnight. The destruction includes painted messages against the military and the war in the Middle East. The 3 teens were picked up in the early morning hours after evidence was left at the scene.
Grandpa, something wrong?
Some people sure have short memories, and those who are too young to know need to be taught. Come on, I want to show you guys something.
Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
At dawn on the morning of the 6th of June, 1944, 225 Rangers jumped off the British landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs. 225 came here. After 2 days of fighting, only 90 could still bear arms. These are the boys of Puente Hobo. These are the men who took the cliffs. These are the champions who helped free a continent. And these are the heroes who helped end a war. You are men who in your, quote, lives fought for life and left the vivid air signed with your honor.
In the name of God and country, I learned to defy gravity.
To honor my family,
I lived in the belly of a beast.
I fixed the hearts of iron monsters.
I became a worm in the mud for dignity,
For honor, for righteousness' sake,
for God and country.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
For you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you.
I fought for you, and I do it again.
What's up, Fremont Ross? I'm Private Widman. You guys know me as Sarah Widman. I graduated last year in 2020. I'm currently serving in the United States Army, and I've been in for about 3 months now, and I'm heading to South Korea on Friday. So.
Hey, Little Giants, it's Lance Corporal Lopez, or some of you might know me as Luis Lopez. I graduated over at Ross in 2019. Currently serving in the United States Marine Corps. I've been in for about a year and a half now, and soon getting ready to go on my first deployment.
Hey, Fremont Ross. My name's MRFN Isaac Fraley. I graduated Fremont Ross in 2018. Now serving in the U.S. Navy. I've been in for going on 2 years. Stationed on board the USS Frank Cable, submarine tender, home ported in the island of Guam in the Northern Pacific. Stay safe.
Claire Oaks, graduating class of 2018. I've been in the Air Force for 2 years now.
Hi, I am Morgan Hawk. I go to Kent State University. I graduated from Fremont Ross in 2017. In May, I will commission as a second lieutenant officer going active duty. Go Ross!
Hi Little Giants, my name is Cole Amore. I'm a 2014 graduate of Fremont Ross. I spent 6 years in the Army and I'm still currently serving in the National Guard. I deployed in 2017 to the Middle East for Operation Inherent Resolve. That was for the fight against ISIS. While overseas, I acted as a machine gunner. So I was part of a weapon squad and I carried around a 240 Bravo, weighed 27.6 pounds, carried that around all day in the 110 degree heat. Had some good times, had some bad times. I've made some lifelong friends in the military and memories that I'll cherish the rest of my life. As for schools, I've attended multiple schools in the military. My most favorite, most enjoyable would have to be airborne school. So I'm qualified to jump out of airplanes. So pretty much the best job in the world. Get paid to jump out of airplanes. Takes a toll on your body though, so gotta look out for that. But to my seniors that are about to graduate, give it all this entire year, and then when you move on to the next chapter of your life, I wish you guys the best. Go into everything 110%, no matter if it's college, the workforce, or the military. So, good luck to everybody. Be safe. Happy Veterans Day.
Hello, my name is Jake Knopfs. I graduated Fremont Ross in 1997. I joined the U.S. Army in 2002 as a combat medic. After medic training, I was assigned to an infantry battalion that led the invasion into Iraq. It was a very busy first year for me in the Army. After that, I went back with that unit again to Iraq in 2005, before I joined the reserves in 2006 and spent 4 years with the military police unit based out of Indiana.
Good morning, Fremont Ross Little Giants. I graduated from Fremont Ross back in 1995, and I've been serving in the Air Force, both enlisted and officer, since then. So 25 years later, Air Force strong.
Oh, yeah. Name Jeff Fox, Fremont VFW Post 2947 Post Commander. 1993 Fremont Ross High graduate. 22 and a half years served, United States Army. Did OIF campaign 2009, 2010. And Italy, Germany twice, and Nicaragua.
Hey Little Giants, this is Commander Eric Kaiser, United States Navy retired. I served 22 years in the global war on terror in Afghanistan and Iraq. And I graduated from Fremont Ross in 1992.
I'm Richard Kaiser, Eric's dad. Served in the Navy 1970 to 1980. Vietnam, Mideast War. Served a lot of my time in Morocco, Hawaii, and California. Graduating class in 1969. Go Giants, go Navy.
Hi, my name's Terry Stanforth. I graduated in 1987 from Elmwood High School. I served 20 and a half years in the Army National Guard, and I did one tour in Iraq from 2003 to 2004. My MOS was a combat engineer.
Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Mike Sanchez. I graduated Fremont Ross in 1990. I joined the Marines from 93 to 2004. And then I also joined the Army from 2005 to 2008. In the Marines, I did water purification. In the Army, I was a tank commander.
My name is W. Johansson. I'm a school resource officer for Fremont City Schools. I served in the United States Marine Corps from 1993 to 1997.
Hi, my name's Ryan Smith, 1989 graduate of Fremont Ross. I served in both the U.S. Army and the Ohio Army National Guard for a total of 11 years of service. I would like to say Happy Veterans Day to all veterans, and a special thank you to all those who are serving today. May God bless you. We thank you for your service.
Hello, Fremont Ross High School. I'm Colonel Mary Miller, U.S. Army retired. I graduated from Fremont Ross High School in 1978 as Mary Gefeller, and I was proud to serve our country for 30 years as a soldier in the Army. Go Army, go Little Giants, and Happy Veterans Day.
My name is Steve Oberst. I graduated from Fremont Ross High School in 1975. I served in the United States Air Force from 1980 to 1986 as a helicopter instructor pilot.
Hey, I'm Jim Gillis, graduated from Fremont Ross in 1965. I went in the Marine Corps from 65 to 68. I was a heavy equipment mechanic in the military. That's what I did afterwards too. That's what I retired as.
Okay, I'm Tom Widman. I graduated in 1953, and then in 1954 I joined the Army Reserve, the U.S. Army Reserve, because there was things going on which made it beneficial for us to be in reserve. And we were activated for a year back in 1961, and we were at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, doing a lot of ordnance, bringing in equipment out of the field, bring them in to repair, send them back out again. And we were released from the Army in 1961 in August the 4th. We weren't in exactly a whole year. We got out a little early, but we did our obligation. We made the world a better place, I guess.
Hi, my name's Ken Dumminger. I'm a 1964 graduate of St. Joe High School. I'm also a 1991 friend of Fremont Ross High School. I was a staff sergeant in the Army National Guard from 1965 to 1982. God bless America.
My name is Richard Henry Willer. Graduated from Ross High in 1943 and decided that I had to join the military because all my buddies already were in the military. So I went with a group to Cleveland, and we took tests in Cleveland, and then we got a 2-week furlough, and then I had to take these 15 guys to California, San Diego, California, and they gave me the passes, the money to pay for our meals and everything. Train would pull over to the siding and we'd go in and get our meals at the Harvey Girls restaurant. Boy, the guys went crazy for the Harvey Girls. Eventually ended up in China, and I spent 3 months in China where we rounded up the Japanese and sent them home. And that was a very different situation, and we accepted the surrender from the Japanese in Tsingtao, China.
Hello, my name is Jim Winters. I graduated from Fremont Ross in 1967 and served in the U.S. Army from 1968 to 70.
Hi, I'm Gary D. Reel. I graduated from Sandusky High School in 1961. I was drafted and decided not to go in the Army. I joined the United States Air Force in 1963 to 67. Then I joined the United States Air Force Ohio Air National Guard 200th Red Horse Unit, Camp Perry, Ohio, 1974 to 1998, 28 years. I also been to every assembly since we started. I'm in the Color Guard, Sergeant at Arms of the Color Guard. I believe this is the 11th year. Thank you.
Hi, name is Jerry Gallagher, 1954 graduate of Fremont Ross High School. I served in the Army from 58 to 62, and go Little Giants.
What's up, Fremont? I'm Staff Sergeant Michael J. Hufford.
Graduated class of 2015, currently serving the United States Air Force. I've been in for about 4.5, 5 years now, and living the good life out in Hawaii. God bless.
Hello, my name is Edward Joseph Eberle. I graduated from St. Joseph High School in 1948. I served in the Army from February 1951 until February 1954. I served overseas in Friedberg, Western Germany, because Germany was divided at that time. I served as a tank commander with Tank Company, 8th Infantry Regiment, 4th Infantry Division. I enjoyed every minute, I believe, of my service, and I am 90 years old, and if my country wanted me tomorrow, I would be there. Other than that, I believe that we live in a wonderful country, and I thank you for this interview.
I'm Leo Bunchu. I was a graduate of St. Joe's School in Fremont in April of 1943, and a neighbor of mine came over and says, I'm going up to Toledo to swear in, I'm going to try to join the Army Air Force. And he says, I'd like to have you go along with me. I'd like to go have someone with me. I said, sure, I'll go along. So I jumped in and we went up to Toledo, and he's talking to the man, and the guy comes over to me and he says, what are you going to do? And I says, well, he says, are you coming up to join too? And I said, well, I hadn't thought about it. He said, well, you could do it. You could at least tell us that you're interested, and we'll see what we can do for you. And I said, that'd be fine. So eventually they sent me the messages. Of course, in those days, everything came from the post office. They didn't deliver stuff like that. And he said, you'll have to go to Cleveland, Ohio, to where all the trains come in, to the great big center, which is about 20 places high. It was really high. It's still there yet. That's still alive in this day. And so eventually I got a letter, and I had to go up there, and I went in and got my physical first, and then they tell you if you're going to make it or not. And he says, yeah, you're going to be one of them. So I think they swore me in right there. Really, is what I think, if I remember. I remember it's a long time back. I felt pretty lucky. My other brother.
Where did they send you to?
Pardon?
Where did they send you to in the Army, right?
Well, first I had to wait till it was time for them to pick me up. Well, they said, you got a letter and said, you got to be out in front of the post office on State Street, which eventually I became the postmaster of 20, 30 years later. Well, I did once when I was in somewhere in the Philippines, and this Jap plane turned in on me, and I was going to shoot at him. Trouble is, I had a ring this big of gasoline coming out of because they had dented in one of our gasoline tanks, and it's running right across my plane, right across my gun, sticking out the thing. And I'm saying to myself, you pull that damn that thing. There's 10 of us aboard. We're all going to be dead, I'll tell you that. So he just come in, and eventually he quit shooting and turned away. And I always, that's still in my mind yet. I still can remember that. I'll say I was lucky. I always said I was the luckiest SOB alive.
Hello everyone, Mr. Adamet here. I'm currently deployed with the United States Navy overseas. I just wanted to reach out and say Happy Veterans Day and wish the 2021 seniors good luck in their future endeavors.
Hi, I'm Robert Chevalier, Assistant Principal of Fremont Ross. I was in the United States Army. I was in the Guard, the Reserve, active duty. I went in at the very beginning of my senior year when I turned 17. I joined the Army Reserve Unit not too far from my house. I went to basic training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. Also went to AIT there. My first job was carpentry and masonry. I came back home. I went back into the Army, and this time I switched MOSs or jobs. I became an interrogator. I went to language school at DLI in Monterey, California, learned German. I then went to Fort Huachuca, Arizona for interrogator school. And after that I was stationed in Germany. When the Persian Gulf started, I went to the Persian Gulf. After that I was due to ETS or get out. I stayed in the Guard and Reserve for a little bit, and I went to The Ohio State University in college. And I loved my time in the military. I look back on it fondly. It has helped me out in my life, throughout my life, and it's just made me a better person. So my hat's off to all veterans everywhere. And that's it.
Okay, hello, my name is Jeff McNutt. I'm a teacher here at Ross. I've been teaching 28 years, started at the old middle school. I graduated from Port Clinton High School in 1985. Obviously wanted to go to college, but my parents said, we're not going to help you pay. You need to find an avenue to pay for that. So one of the avenues was I joined the Ohio Air National Guard, based out of Port Clinton. And it's probably one of the best decisions I've ever made. For those of you unfamiliar with the Guard, again, I'm trying to gear this speech towards the current high school students. The Guard and Reserves, basically, you still compete through basic training and advanced training with regular Air Force people. I went through regular Air Force basic training. When I came home, though, I started college. And your commitment to the Guard is 39 days a year. It's 1 weekend a month, and 2 weeks in the summer. Obviously, you can be deployed in case of an emergency, weather-related, riot-related, or if in time of war. Fortunately, that never happened to me. Again, but the best part of the deal is you get 100% tuition at state universities here in Ohio. Also, you get a GI Bill, and then you get your monthly drill check. So late 80s, I was working 1 weekend a month while attending school, and I didn't owe a dime to the university. I went to Bowling Green State University. I had friends that would be working in the cafeterias at UPS, and they were really struggling with time management, and I didn't have to worry about it. I'm trying to think what I did. Like I said, it pays 100% tuition. It's a great deal. It does help, I believe, with maturity. Also, knowing that my schooling was being paid for, I felt I was more committed to attending class and making sure that everything was in order. I really recommend it to any high school seniors that are, unsure of what they want to do, knowing college expenses today, how you're going to pay for it. The National Guard is an excellent opportunity. I know that it's still 100% tuition. I'm sure the money is much better than the late 80s for your monthly check and the GI Bill. And I believe they even have bonuses depending on what type of job you take. So like a signing bonus that you would get on top of all that as well. And again, it's a great opportunity. You can learn some skills, something that can transfer even with your regular job or schooling. If something would happen while you're in school, the universities can't hold that against you. You'll be able to pick up where you left off with your classwork. Again, if you're really struggling and you're looking for a way to help pay for school, highly recommend I did Ohio Air National Guard. There, of course, is Army National Guard, and there's reserves and that. So that's all I have. And again, I hope that you. I would like to thank all the veterans. I'll be honest with you, I don't feel like, I did serve my country, but I was fortunate that I didn't have to serve in a war or anything, but I'm so happy that I had that opportunity, and it gave me a chance to serve my country. Thank you. Is that something you're looking for?
I'm Russ Brennan. I was enlisted 4 years in the Army. I was stateside. My job was two things. One, I was trained to be soldier first, and the second thing was I was a 63 Delta, which was a mechanic for tanks, and that was kind of cool, driving tanks around and fixing those things, making sure people were combat ready. And some of the things that I enjoyed while I was actually serving was meeting a bunch of different people of different walks of life, And I think that kind of thing helps me now while I'm here at school, because again, I'm meeting people of all different walks of life, and how I dealt and learned to deal with them then certainly plays a definite role in how I deal with kids today. And some of the training that I went through, I kind of bring into my shop class because I expect everybody to do the best that they can, and then I push them beyond that. And I don't let them settle for, because if they start to settle for now, it's my philosophy that they'll just settle for in life later on, and I don't want that. So I push them beyond where they think they can go, much the way that the service pushed me beyond what I thought I could do. The endurance that I had to go through all the training, physically, mentally. Mentally was a big thing. It wasn't like I had to go into the service. I wanted to go into the service, not like a family thing, but more of a, well, I need a job, and they were offering. And one of the things I knew I wanted to do early on in high school, because I hated school to begin with. I hated it really bad. And but I had some pretty cool shop teachers, and I thought it'd be interesting to become one of them. And so I always wanted to go to college, but I didn't think my grades weren't all that great, so there had to be another way. Well, the military decided that they would offer a college fund if we paid into it, and they would match and then give us more. And so I paid into it, not knowing if any of that was ever going to come to fruition, and yet it did. And here I am now, towards the end of my career as a teacher, and enjoying what I've been doing for all these years. And had it not been for the service, I wouldn't be where I am now. Some of the things that I've learned while in the service carries with me through my marriage. For example, one time my wife asked me to make the bed, so I did. She came back in and checked out the bed, and she was like, "What in the world did you do?" And little did she know that I was able to make these nice 45 corners, and it was super tight. And yes, there's this thing where you could flip a quarter on it, and this shit actually flip as soon as it hits. And she was, "Now how am I supposed to get into this thing?" So yeah, she didn't ask me to make the bed anymore. So that was kind of cool. So there's a lot of things that I still carry with me. Discipline, work ethics, choosing battles is a huge thing. You don't have to fight everything. Geez. Everybody wants to fight everything all the time, and it just isn't worth all that. But if you get a peace of mind about where you're heading, you'll know that that's just not one battle you need to fight. Let somebody else take care of it. Right? So that's where my life is now. So thank you.
If you want to change the world, start off by making your bed. If you make your bed every morning, you will have accomplished the first task of the day. It will give you a small sense of pride, and it will encourage you to do another task, and another, and another. And by the end of the day, that one task completed will have turned into many tasks completed. Making your bed will also reinforce the fact that the little things in life matter. If you can't do the little things right, you'll never be able to do the big things right. And if by chance you have a miserable day, you will come home to a bed that is made, that you made. And a made bed gives you encouragement that tomorrow will be better. To pass SEAL training, there are a series of long swims that must be completed. One is the night swim. Before the swim, the instructors joyfully brief the students on all the species of sharks that inhabit the waters off San Clemente. They assure you, however, that no student has ever been eaten by a shark, at least not that they can remember. But you are also taught that if a shark begins to circle your position, stand your ground. Do not swim away. Do not act afraid. And if the shark, hungry for a midnight snack, darts towards you, then summons up all your strength and punch him in the snout, and he will turn and swim away. There are a lot of sharks in the world. If you hope to complete the swim, you will have to deal with them. So if you want to change the world, don't back down from the sharks. Over a few weeks of difficult training, my SEAL class, which started with 150 men, was down to just 42. There were now 6 boat crews of 7 men each. I was in the boat with the tall guys, but the best boat crew we had was made up of the little guys, the Munchkin crew, we called them. No one was over 5'5". The Munchkin boat crew had 1 American Indian, 1 African American, 1 Polish American, 1 Greek American, 1 Italian American, and 2 tough kids from the Midwest. They out-paddled, outran, and outswam all the other boat crews. The big men in the other boat crews would always make good-natured fun of the tiny little flippers the Munchkins put on their tiny little feet prior to every swim. But somehow these little guys from every corner of the nation and the world always had the last laugh, swimming faster than everyone and reaching the shore long before the rest of us. SEAL training was a great equalizer. Nothing mattered but your will to succeed, not your color, not your ethnic background, not your education, not your social status. If you want to change the world, measure a person by the size of their heart, not by the size of their flippers. The 9th week of training is referred to as Hell Week. It is 6 days of no sleep, constant physical and mental harassment, and 1 special day at the Mud Flats. The Mud Flats are an area between San Diego and Tijuana where the water runs off and creates the Tijuana Sloughs, a swampy patch of terrain where the mud will engulf you. It is on Wednesday of Hell Week that you paddle down to the Mud Flats and spend the next 15 hours trying to survive the freezing cold, the howling wind, and the incessant pressure to quit from the instructors. As the sun began to set that Wednesday evening, my training class, having committed some egregious infraction of the rules, was ordered into the mud. The mud consumed each man till there was nothing visible but our heads. The instructors told us we could leave the mud if only 5 men would quit. Only 5 men, just 5 men, and we could get out of the oppressive cold. Looking around the mud flat, it was apparent that some students were about to give up. It was still over 8 hours till the sun came up. 8 more hours of bone-chilling cold. The chattering teeth and the shivering moans of the trainees were so loud, it was hard to hear anything. And then one voice began to echo through the night. One voice raised in song. The song was terribly out of tune, but sung with great enthusiasm. One voice became 2, and 2 became 3, and before long, everyone in the class was singing. The instructors threatened us with more time in the mud if we kept up the singing, but the singing persisted, and somehow the mud seemed a little warmer, and the wind a little tamer, and the dawn not so far away. If I have learned anything in my time traveling the world, it is the power of hope. The power of one person, a Washington, a Lincoln, King, Mandela, and even a young girl from Pakistan, Malala. One person can change the world by giving people hope. So if you want to change the world, start each day with a task completed. Find someone to help you through life. Respect everyone. Know that life is not fair and that you will fail often. But if you take some risks, step up when the times are the toughest, face down the bullies, lift up the downtrodden, and never ever give up. If you do these things, the next generation and the generations that follow will live in a world far better than the one we have today. And what started here will indeed have changed the world for the better.
everyone. I'm JT Lozano, and as a co-chair of our Veterans Day program, Fremont Ross TLC would like to thank you so much for attending our drive-through and virtual presentation. We would also like to thank everybody who made this video possible. We are saddened it cannot be in person this year. However, we are still happy to be able to honor our veterans who sacrificed so much for the United States of America. We hope to see you all in person and in full force next year at our annual program. Fremont Ross thanks you so much for your sacrifices and the freedoms you have given us. See you all next year.